Have you ever felt like someone else's negativity has taken over your mind, consuming your peace and energy? It's a common trap. A toxic coworker, a demanding family member, or even a stranger online says or does something, and suddenly your entire day feels ruined. It's like they've found the off switch to your happiness and can control it with just a word or action. But here's the thing. What if the real power lies in your ability to let go, to ignore them completely? You've likely heard the phrase, "Don't let them get to you." Sounds simple, right? Yet, in the heat of the moment, it feels impossible. You're drawn into their chaos, defending yourself, trying to prove them wrong, or worse, trying to change them. And here's the hard truth. You can't win that way. Why? Because every ounce of energy you spend on them is fuel for their fire. Let me ask you, what if there was another way? What if ignoring them was not just a form of escape, but the ultimate act of strength, clarity, and growth? Imagine reclaiming your energy, focusing on what truly matters, and stepping into a life where their negativity holds no weight. This isn't about running away or pretending they don't exist. It's about mastery, mastering your emotions, your focus, and your power. In this video, we'll uncover 5 undeniable reasons why ignoring them is your only solution. Each reason isn't just backed by logic. It's a profound, actionable shift in perspective that can transform the way you deal with difficult people. We'll delve into the psychology of attention, the futility of confrontation, and the wisdom of Stoicism, all while giving you tools to navigate these challenges with grace and confidence. By the end of this journey, you'll see ignoring them not as avoidance, but as empowerment, a way to reclaim your peace and protect your growth. Stay with us until the very end, because the final reason might just be the revelation you've been searching for. Now, let's dive into the first reason and see how attention, your most valuable resource, might be the key to everything. 1. The psychology behind attention and energy. Let's start with a simple but powerful question. Where is your attention going right now? If you're like most people, you might not even realize how much of your focus is being stolen by things or people that don't deserve it. Maybe it's a rude comment someone made, a passive-aggressive remark from a coworker, or even a memory of an argument you had weeks ago. The truth is, your attention is your most valuable resource, and toxic people know it. They thrive on stealing it. But here's the good news, you can take it back. In fact, ignoring negativity is one of the most effective ways to protect your energy, your peace, and your happiness. It's not just a passive act, it's a deliberate choice that puts you back in control. Let's break it down. Why is attention so powerful? Imagine your attention as a spotlight in a dark room. Wherever you shine that light, that's what you see. If you focus on someone's toxic behavior, you're giving it center stage, allowing it to dominate your thoughts and emotions. But here's the catch. You're the one holding the spotlight. You get to choose what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Here's something to think about. When was the last time you gave more attention to someone's negativity than it deserved? Maybe it was a snarky comment that ruined your mood, or an online troll who made you question yourself. How much of your time and energy did they steal? And more importantly, was it worth it? The truth is, when you engage with negativity, you're doing more than just responding. You're feeding it. Think of it like a fire. The more fuel you give it, the bigger it grows. But what happens when you stop feeding the fire? It dies out. The same principle applies to toxic people. By ignoring them, you're depriving them of the fuel they need to keep going. Let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you stopped giving attention to things that drain you? How much lighter would you feel? How much more energy would you have for the people and activities that truly matter? The psychology behind this is fascinating. Our brains are wired to focus on threats. It's a survival mechanism that helped our ancestors avoid danger. But in today's world, this instinct often works against us. Instead of focusing on real threats, we get stuck on minor annoyances or other people's opinions. And every time we give our attention to negativity, we reinforce its power over us. Let's take a closer look at how this works. Imagine someone makes a hurtful remark. Your initial reaction might be anger or defensiveness. You might replay the comment in your head, think of ways to respond, or even confront them. But here's the kicker. The more you focus on their words, the more power you give them. It's like letting them live rent-free in your mind. But what if you chose a different response? What if, instead of reacting, you simply let it go? This doesn't mean you're ignoring reality or pretending the comment didn't happen. It means you're choosing not to let it define you. You're saying my peace is more important than their opinion. Here's a metaphor to consider. Your attention is like a garden. Whatever you water grows. If you water the weeds, negativity, criticism, drama, that's what will take over. But if you focus on the flowers, your goals, your passions, your relationships, you'll create a space that's beautiful and fulfilling. Let's pause for a moment. If this idea resonates with you, if you're ready to stop watering the weeds and start focusing on the flowers, take a moment to like this video and comment number 1 below. Your support helps spread this message and reminds others that they too have the power to take back their attention. And if you're finding value in this discussion, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you'll join a community of people who are committed to protecting their energy and living with intention. Together, we're building a life that's focused, fulfilling, and free from unnecessary negativity. Now, let's talk about why this can feel so challenging. Ignoring toxic people might sound simple, but in practice, it's anything but. That's because toxic individuals are often skilled at grabbing your attention. They know how to push your buttons, provoke you, and keep you engaged. But here's the thing, you don't have to play their game. By understanding how attention works, you can take back control. One of the most powerful tools you have is awareness. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause and ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Think of it like scrolling through social media. Not every post deserves your time. Some are worth engaging with, but others are better left ignored. The same principle applies to toxic people. Just because they demand your attention doesn't mean you have to give it to them. Let's reflect for a moment. What would happen if you treated your attention like a valuable currency? Would you spend it on people who drain you, or would you invest it in things that bring you joy and growth? The Stoics had a profound understanding of this. They believed that our peace depends not on external events, but on how we interpret and respond to them. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This idea is incredibly liberating. It means that no matter how toxic someone's behavior is, they can't control your emotions unless you let them. By choosing to ignore their negativity, you're reclaiming your power and protecting your peace. Let me challenge you. What would your day look like if you stopped reacting to negativity? How much more productive and joyful could you be if you focused only on what truly matters? As we wrap up this section, let's summarize the key takeaway. Your attention is your power. By ignoring toxic people, you're not just avoiding conflict, you're reclaiming your focus, your energy, and your peace of mind. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to like the video, comment number 1, and subscribe to the channel. Together, we're building a life of strength, clarity, and purpose. Thank you for being part of this journey, and stay tuned for the next section where we'll explore why trying to confront toxic people often backfires and what you can do instead. 2. Why confrontation often backfires. Have you ever found yourself in the middle of a heated argument, passionately explaining your side, only to realize that the other person isn't even listening? Worse yet, their responses are crafted not to resolve the issue but to provoke you further. You leave the conversation drained, frustrated, and sometimes angrier than when it began. What went wrong? The simple truth is this: confronting toxic people rarely works. In fact, it often makes things worse. Why is that? Let's break it down. First, let's address the nature of toxic individuals. These are the people who thrive on drama, control, or manipulation. Their goal isn't to reach a resolution but to maintain power in the interaction. Confronting them, no matter how logical or well-intentioned you are, often gives them exactly what they want: your emotional energy. They're not interested in solving problems, they're interested in keeping you hooked. Have you ever wondered why certain people never seem to let go of an argument? They'll dig up past mistakes, twist your words, or even escalate the situation to make you feel like you're the problem. This isn't accidental, it's a tactic. By engaging with them, you're stepping onto a battlefield they've designed to exhaust you. Now think about this. How many times have you replayed an argument in your head, wishing you had said something different? That mental replay is another way toxic people win. Even when they're not physically present, they occupy your mind. The more you confront them, the deeper their hooks sink into your thoughts and emotions. Let's take a moment to ask ourselves an important question. What do we really want from confrontation? For most of us, the answer is resolution. We want the other person to acknowledge their behavior, to understand our perspective, and maybe even to change. But here's the hard truth. Toxic people don't change because you ask them to. They change only if they want to, and even then, it's a long process that rarely happens overnight. This isn't to say that all confrontation is bad. In healthy relationships, open communication can lead to deeper understanding and growth. But in toxic dynamics, confrontation often serves as a trap, a way for the other person to keep you entangled in their web. Here's a metaphor to consider. Arguing with a toxic person is like wrestling with a pig. Both of you get dirty, but the pig enjoys it. Toxic individuals thrive on conflict. The more you engage, the more they're validated. They don't see your logic or your vulnerability, they see an opportunity to control you. So what's the alternative? The answer lies in one word: detachment. Detachment isn't about being cold or uncaring. It's about recognizing that not every battle is worth fighting, and not every person deserves your emotional investment. When you choose to detach, you're not surrendering, you're reclaiming your power. You're saying, I won't let this person dictate how I feel or how I act. Let's put this into perspective with a simple question. Have you ever seen someone argue with silence? Imagine a scenario where someone tries to provoke you, hurling insults or accusations, and you respond with calm indifference. What happens? 9 times out of 10, their energy fizzles out. Why? Because toxic behavior relies on reaction. Without your engagement, their power fades. But here's the challenge. Detachment isn't easy. It requires self-discipline, emotional intelligence, and the ability to rise above the situation. It's tempting to jump into the fray, to defend your honor or set the record straight. But ask yourself this: what's more important, being right or being at peace? Detachment doesn't mean you ignore boundaries or allow others to mistreat you. In fact, it's the opposite. By detaching, you're asserting a powerful boundary. I won't let your behavior control me. You're choosing your peace over their chaos. Let's pause here for a quick reflection. What if the next time someone tried to provoke you, you simply didn't respond? Not out of weakness, but out of strength. What if your silence was louder than their words? What kind of impact would that have on your mental and emotional state? Before we move on, let's take a moment to connect. If this resonates with you, if you've ever felt the power of choosing peace over confrontation, go ahead and like this video and comment number 1 below. Your engagement not only supports this channel, but also sends a message to others. You're not alone in this journey. And if you're finding value in this perspective, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This is just the beginning. Together, we're building a community of resilient, empowered individuals who refuse to let negativity define them. By subscribing, you'll join us on this journey of personal growth and emotional mastery. Let's come back to the essence of this message. Ignoring them isn't about avoidance, it's about prioritizing your peace and growth over their chaos. It's about breaking free from the cycle of reaction and reclaiming your focus. Imagine the ripple effect this choice could have on your life. With every toxic encounter you rise above, you're teaching yourself a valuable lesson. You're in control of your response, no matter how chaotic the situation. Over time, this builds confidence, clarity, and resilience. So, let me ask you, what would your life look like if you stopped fighting battles that didn't matter? What could you accomplish with the energy you save? And most importantly, how would you feel knowing that you hold the power to protect your peace? This is the heart of why confrontation often backfires. By engaging, you're stepping into their world, a world designed to drain you. But by ignoring them, you're choosing to stay in your own. As we move forward, keep this mantra in mind. Not every battle is worth fighting. In the next section, we'll explore how ancient Stoic wisdom can guide you in mastering this principle, helping you navigate negativity with grace and strength. Stay tuned, because the insights to come might just change the way you see the world. 3. The Stoic perspective. Mastering indifference. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm, winds roaring, lightning crashing, yet you remain calm, untouched, and unshaken. This is the power of indifference, a core principle of Stoicism, and a profound way to master your response to negativity. You might wonder, how can indifference possibly help when someone is pushing your buttons or trying to drag you into their chaos? The answer lies in one of Stoicism's most transformative ideas. Focus only on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. Let's start with a question. When someone insults or belittles you, who decides how you feel? Is it them or is it you? At first, it might seem like their words have the power to hurt you, but that's not entirely true. The Stoics teach us that external events, including other people's behavior, are neutral by nature. It's our interpretation, the meaning we assign to their actions, that determines how we feel. This is where mastering indifference becomes a game changer. Indifference doesn't mean you don't care about anything. It means you're choosing to care about the right things. Instead of pouring your energy into what others think or say, you redirect it toward your values, your goals, and your peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, put it simply: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let's unpack that. When someone tries to provoke you, they're testing your boundaries. They want you to react, to defend yourself, or to get angry. Why? Because your reaction gives them control. By mastering indifference, you take that control away. You're no longer a puppet in their game. Instead, you become an observer, choosing how to respond or whether to respond at all. Here's a real-life scenario to consider. Imagine a coworker makes a snide comment during a meeting, clearly aimed at undermining you. In that moment, you have two choices. You can react, get defensive, snap back, or let the comment ruin your day. Or you can practice indifference. Recognize that their words are a reflection of them, not you. Ask yourself, does this affect my goals or my values? If the answer is no, you let it go. But let's be honest, this isn't easy. Ignoring negativity, especially when it feels personal, can feel like surrender. But in reality, it's the ultimate act of strength. When you choose not to react, you're showing that their words or actions have no power over you. Think of it this way. If someone throws a ball at you and you refuse to catch it, where does the ball go? It falls to the ground. The same principle applies to negativity. By not catching their toxic behavior, you're letting it fall away, untouched and powerless. Now, let's address a common misconception. Isn't ignoring someone rude? Doesn't it make you look weak? The Stoic answer is no. Ignoring someone doesn't mean you're ignoring the issue. It means you're choosing not to engage in a way that harms your peace. It's not about avoiding conflict, it's about mastering it. The Stoics believed in taking responsibility for their own emotions. They didn't waste time blaming others for their feelings. Instead, they focused on controlling their inner state. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple truth is the foundation of emotional freedom. Let me ask you, what would your life look like if you stopped reacting to every negative comment or action? How much more peace would you have if you could let go of the things you can't control? Practicing indifference doesn't mean you ignore injustice or let people walk all over you. It means you respond with wisdom and clarity, not emotion. Imagine someone yelling at you in anger. Instead of yelling back, you calmly state your point or walk away. Which response holds more power? The quiet strength of calm indifference always outweighs the chaos of reactive anger. As you reflect on this, let's take a moment to connect. If you're finding value in this discussion, show your support by liking this video and commenting number 1 below. Let's spread this message of empowerment together. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can join a community focused on personal growth and emotional mastery. Together, we can build a life of resilience and strength. Now, let's dive deeper into how you can apply this principle in your daily life. Think of a situation where someone's negativity really got under your skin. Maybe it was a rude driver, a passive-aggressive friend, or even a stranger online. What would have happened if you had responded with indifference? Not apathy, indifference. Instead of getting upset or engaging, you let their behavior pass like a cloud drifting across the sky. How would you feel afterward? This isn't about repressing your emotions. The Stoics never advocated for pretending you don't feel angry or hurt. Instead, they encouraged us to acknowledge our emotions without being ruled by them. Ask yourself, does this emotion serve me? If the answer is no, let it go. Here's a practical exercise to try. The next time someone provokes you, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, remind yourself that their behavior is their problem, not yours. You have the power to choose peace over chaos. Over time, this practice becomes second nature. You start to see negativity for what it really is, a fleeting distraction, not a reflection of your worth. By mastering indifference, you're not just ignoring toxic people, you're reclaiming your focus, your energy, and your peace of mind. Let me challenge you. What could you achieve if you stopped wasting energy on people who don't deserve it? Imagine how much stronger, calmer, and more focused you would be. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom, mastering yourself so you can navigate the world with clarity and strength. As we wrap up this section, let me leave you with a thought. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. This quote from Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we don't need to match negativity with negativity. The most powerful response is to rise above it. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like the video, comment number 1 below, and subscribe to the channel. Together, we're learning how to live with purpose, resilience, and peace. Stay with us, because in the next section, we'll explore the emotional benefits of ignoring toxic people and how this one shift can transform your life. 4. The emotional benefits of ignoring them. Let's pause for a moment and ask a simple question. How often do you feel weighed down by other people's negativity? Maybe it's a constant sense of frustration, or perhaps you feel emotionally drained after a toxic interaction. The emotional toll of engaging with negativity is real, and it's heavy. But what if I told you that by ignoring these people, you could not only lighten your emotional load, but also unlock a life of greater peace, clarity, and happiness? When we talk about ignoring toxic people, it's easy to focus on what you're giving up, the satisfaction of responding, the urge to prove your point, or the temporary relief of venting your anger. But let's flip the script. What do you gain by choosing not to engage? The answer lies in the emotional freedom and resilience that come with protecting your inner peace. Here's something to consider. Every time you react to negativity, you're handing over your emotional power. When someone's words or actions upset you, they gain control of your mood, your thoughts, and sometimes even your day. It's like giving them the keys to your emotional well-being. By ignoring them, you're taking those keys back. I think about the last time someone's negativity consumed your thoughts. Maybe it was a snide comment that lingered in your mind or a heated argument that left you feeling unsettled. How much energy did you spend replaying that moment, thinking of what you could have said or done differently? Now, imagine if you had simply let it go. How much lighter would you feel? This brings us to one of the most profound emotional benefits of ignoring negativity: peace of mind. When you stop engaging with toxic people, you're no longer carrying the weight of their words or actions. You free up mental space to focus on what truly matters: your growth, your happiness, and your goals. But let's be honest, letting go isn't easy. It takes practice and discipline. It requires you to ask yourself hard questions like, why am I giving this person so much power over me? And is my reaction helping or hurting me? These moments of self-reflection are uncomfortable but necessary. They're the first steps toward reclaiming your emotional freedom. Let me share a practical example. Imagine you're scrolling through social media and someone leaves a nasty comment on one of your posts. Your instinct might be to fire back or defend yourself, but before you do, ask yourself, what am I hoping to achieve by responding? Will it change their opinion? Will it make you feel better? Or will it simply pull you into their negativity? 9 times out of 10, the answer is clear. Responding only amplifies the negativity. Ignoring them, on the other hand, sends a powerful message not to them but to yourself. It says, my peace is more important than their opinion. Let's pause for a moment. If you've ever experienced the freedom of letting go, if you've chosen to ignore negativity and felt the weight lift off your shoulders, go ahead and like this video and comment number 1 below. Your support helps spread this message and reminds others that they too can choose peace over chaos. And if you're finding value in this discussion, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This is more than a video, it's a journey toward emotional resilience and self-mastery. By subscribing, you're joining a community of people who are committed to living with purpose and peace. Now, let's explore another powerful emotional benefit of ignoring negativity: clarity. When you stop engaging with toxic people, you gain the mental clarity to see situations and yourself more objectively. Negativity clouds your judgment, making it harder to focus on your priorities and values. But when you step back and detach, you create space for clarity to emerge. Consider this. When you're in the middle of an argument, your emotions are heightened, and it's easy to lose perspective. You might say things you don't mean, or you might misinterpret the other person's intentions. But by choosing to ignore the conflict, you give yourself the gift of time to process, reflect, and respond thoughtfully, if a response is even necessary. Clarity also allows you to see toxic people for who they really are. Instead of getting caught up in their drama, you can recognize their behavior as a reflection of their own insecurities, fears, or unresolved issues. This doesn't excuse their actions, but it helps you see that their negativity isn't about you, it's about them. Let me ask you, how would your life change if you could approach every situation with clarity instead of emotional turmoil? What opportunities could you seize? What relationships could you strengthen? What goals could you achieve? Another emotional benefit of ignoring negativity is confidence. When you choose not to react, you're affirming your own strength and self-worth. You're saying, I don't need their approval, and I won't let their behavior define me. This kind of confidence isn't loud or boastful, it's quiet, steady, and deeply rooted in self-respect. Confidence also comes from knowing that you're in control of your emotions. Toxic people often thrive on making others feel powerless. By ignoring them, you're taking back your power and showing yourself that you're stronger than their negativity. Let's pause here for a quick reflection. If you've ever felt empowered by choosing not to react, if you've stood firm in your confidence and refused to let someone's negativity shake you, take a moment to like this video and comment number 1 below. Let's celebrate these victories together. As we near the end of this section, let's talk about the ultimate emotional benefit of ignoring them: freedom. Freedom from the constant cycle of reaction. Freedom from the stress and anxiety that comes with toxic interactions. Freedom to focus on what truly matters in your life. When you ignore negativity, you're not just avoiding conflict, you're breaking free from its grip. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of peace, knowing that no one's words or actions can steal your joy. Imagine being so grounded in your own values and purpose that external negativity rolls off you like water off a duck's back. This is the kind of freedom that comes with emotional mastery. So let me leave you with this question. What's stopping you from choosing freedom? What's holding you back from ignoring the people and situations that drain your energy? If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like the video, comment number 1, and subscribe to the channel. Together, we're building a community of resilient, empowered individuals who refuse to let negativity define their lives. In the next section, we'll dive into practical strategies for ignoring toxic people, tools you can use to protect your peace and navigate negativity with grace. Stay with us because the best is yet to come. 5. Practical strategies to ignore effectively. By now, you understand the profound impact ignoring toxic people can have on your life. Peace of mind, clarity, confidence, and ultimately freedom. But understanding the benefits is one thing. Putting this practice into action is another. You might be wondering, How can I actually ignore someone who is determined to push my buttons? The truth is, ignoring negativity is a skill, and like any skill, it can be learned and refined with practice. Let's explore practical strategies you can use to effectively ignore toxic people while protecting your emotional and mental well-being. These tools are simple, actionable, and designed to help you reclaim your power in the face of negativity. First, let's start with the foundation, setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is more than just saying no to toxic people. It's about defining what you will and won't tolerate in your life. When you set clear boundaries, you're taking control of your personal space, both physically and emotionally. Boundaries are your way of saying, this is where your influence ends and my peace begins. For example, if a friend constantly complains or criticizes you, you can calmly let them know that you're unwilling to engage in that type of conversation. If a coworker repeatedly tries to pull you into their drama, you can establish a professional boundary by limiting your interactions to work-related topics. Here's a key question to consider. What boundaries do you need to set to protect your peace? Take a moment to reflect on the people or situations that drain you. Are there specific behaviors you need to address? Are there limits you need to enforce? Remember, boundaries are not about changing other people, they're about protecting yourself. And while some people might resist your boundaries at first, over time they'll learn to respect them. Let's move on to another powerful strategy, limiting your exposure. Not every toxic person can be avoided entirely. You might have a family member, coworker, or neighbor who you can't simply cut out of your life. But what you can do is limit the amount of time and energy you spend around them. I think of this like tuning out background noise. If you're in a room with loud music, you might move to a quieter spot. Similarly, if someone's negativity is overwhelming, create distance whenever possible. This might mean declining invitations, stepping away from conversations, or even taking a break from social media if the toxicity is online. Ask yourself, how can I create more space between myself and the people who drain me? Sometimes, even small changes like spending less time in their company or finding alternative ways to communicate can make a big difference. Now let's talk about an internal strategy that is equally important, shifting your focus. Toxic people often thrive on attention. The more you focus on them, the more power they have. By redirecting your focus, you're taking back control of your thoughts and emotions. One way to do this is by practicing mindfulness. When you notice yourself dwelling on someone's negativity, pause and ask yourself, is this helping me or hurting me? If it's hurting you, gently redirect your thoughts to something positive, whether it's a goal you're working toward, a moment of gratitude, or even something as simple as your breath. Another way to shift your focus is by channeling your energy into activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. This could be spending time with loved ones, pursuing a hobby, or working on a passion project. By investing your energy in things that uplift you, you naturally have less energy to give to negativity. Let's reflect for a moment. What would happen if you spent less time thinking about toxic people and more time focusing on what makes you happy? How would that shift affect your overall well-being? If this idea resonates with you, if you're ready to reclaim your focus and invest in your own happiness, take a moment to like this video and comment number 1 below. Your support not only reinforces your commitment to personal growth, but also helps inspire others on the same journey. Another crucial strategy is practicing emotional detachment. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you stop caring altogether. It means you stop allowing other people's behavior to dictate your emotions. When someone tries to provoke you, instead of reacting, you pause, observe, and choose how to respond. Here's a technique to try. Imagine you're watching the situation unfold from a distance, like a movie. Instead of seeing yourself as the protagonist, see yourself as an observer. This perspective creates space between you and the situation, making it easier to respond calmly and thoughtfully. Let me ask you, how would your life change if you could detach from other people's negativity? What would it feel like to remain calm and centered, even in the face of provocation? Finally, let's talk about the power of building a strong support system. Ignoring toxic people is easier when you're surrounded by positive influences. Your support system, friends, family, mentors, or even online communities can provide encouragement, perspective, and strength when you need it most. Think of your support system as a shield that protects you from negativity. When you're feeling drained or overwhelmed, lean on these people for guidance and reassurance. They can help remind you of your worth and keep you focused on your goals. Here's a question to consider. Who in your life uplifts and inspires you? How can you strengthen those connections? As we wrap up this section, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've covered. Ignoring toxic people isn't about avoiding conflict, it's about choosing peace. By setting boundaries, limiting your exposure, shifting your focus, practicing detachment, and building a support system, you're equipping yourself with the tools to navigate negativity with grace and confidence. If you found value in these strategies, let us know by liking this video and commenting number 1 below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can join a community committed to personal growth and emotional resilience. Together, we're building a life of strength, clarity, and peace, one choice at a time. Thank you for being part of this journey, and stay tuned for more insights and tools to help you thrive. Let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've uncovered together. Throughout this journey, we've explored the undeniable truth that ignoring toxic people isn't avoidance, it's empowerment. It's the deliberate choice to protect your peace, preserve your energy, and focus on what truly matters. From understanding the psychology behind attention to mastering the art of indifference, you've seen how choosing not to engage with negativity can transform your life. You've learned that confrontation often backfires, draining your emotional reserves while giving power to those who seek to manipulate or provoke you. And you've seen the incredible emotional benefits, peace, clarity, confidence, and freedom that come from letting go of battles that don't deserve your time. But perhaps the most profound takeaway is this: you hold the power to shape your response. You may not control the words or actions of others, but you control what you give your energy to. Every time you choose to ignore negativity, you're reclaiming your life, moment by moment. Let me ask you, what's stopping you from making this choice today? What's holding you back from saying enough? My energy is too valuable to waste on this. Remember, it's not about being perfect or emotionless. It's about practicing awareness, building resilience, and honoring your own peace. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, their behavior is a reflection of them, not me. I choose to rise above. In that moment, you're not just ignoring them, you're taking back control of your story. Before we wrap up, let's take one final moment together. If you found value in this discussion, if you feel inspired to reclaim your peace and power, take a moment to like this video and comment number 1 below. Your engagement helps amplify this message and reminds others that they too have the strength to rise above negativity. And if you're not already part of this community, now is the perfect time to subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you're joining a group of like-minded individuals who are committed to personal growth, emotional mastery, and living with intention. Together, we're building a life that's not just free from negativity, but full of purpose and joy. Thank you for spending this time with me and for being open to this journey. Remember, every moment you choose peace over chaos, you're becoming the person you're meant to be. Stay strong, stay focused, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. Until next time, take care and keep rising above.